Hi everyone, it's Sonia here. So a lot of you had been asking me how my mom is doing. So I'm here to give you an update. In case you don't know, my mother has dementia, what they're calling Alzheimer's. I've done quite a few videos on what's been going on with my mom in the last few years. She's had to move several times. She got COVID. She was in the hospital for 3 months. Following that, moved again, and then was finally put in a public nursing home. And, you know, this all during the last year in the pandemic, obviously has been bizarre. She also had her Pfizer shot in January. I did a video about how she's been since then. So I want to give you an update on how she's doing. So if you like the video, please hit like. And thank you for leaving me a comment. Thank you for your support on Patreon also, which helps keep my channel going. And don't forget to sub to my new Bitchute channel. I will leave the link below and the referral link and code. And also, I've been on keto for a few weeks now. I have lost 5.5 pounds. Yay. I finally got on the keto. It was kind of slow to start. It's picking up steam now. And I just want to tell you, I've been using this, the Keto Elevate. It's really come through for me. It's MCT oil powder. And what's special about this one is it's all caprylic acid, which is very readily turned into ketones. So it'll help you transition into ketosis. And while you're in ketosis, it's a great source of energy for you because it's going to give you all the ketones you need to fuel you. So this has been really helpful for me. And if you're interested, please check out the link below and you will get a discount if you order through the link. So about my mom, I mean, what can I say? Like, it's basically just totally sucked dealing with her situation during the pandemic. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't actually always that close to my mom throughout my life, but then after my father passed away in 2009, our relationship changed a lot. We got a lot closer. We started to see each other more. We started to become like good friends, you know, like we enjoyed each other more. I think that when my father was alive, she was so focused on him, and apparently he was calling all the shots. So one of the reasons she really didn't visit that much was because he didn't want her to, and stuff like that. It was a very kind of formal relationship I had where I would go over there once a week and see my parents and have tea with them and show them the baby and that kind of thing, or the child. And it was, yeah, it was just kind of like that. And then after my father passed away and my mother's life stopped being so focused on him, she got a lot more involved with me and with her grandson and her other grandchildren as well. And she was like really, really extremely healthy, and she was lots of fun. We did a lot of fun things together and hung out. And then she had this surgery. I didn't tell you what it was in my other video because I felt like it's her personal information, but I kind of don't think that she would mind if I told you what it was for, because I want to tell you, because it turns out that if you have surgery for a knee or hip replacement after 65, or really any kind of surgery, it's known that this can increase your risk of Alzheimer's. And what I noticed was that after she had her surgery, she declined very, very quickly. Apparently it's not from the anesthetic. They thought at first that's what does it, but it's not. It's because it produces a lot of inflammation. So if you're someone who's susceptible to dementia, or you have pre-dementia and then you have a surgery, it can like just kick it right off. Also, if you have blood transfusions, this increases your risk. And she had 3. And she had a noticeable cognitive decline after, and within 1 year, she was pretty much like starting to have dementia. And from there, it's been a decline. Now, it's been kind of slow, like she was losing about 2 points a year. Oh, I didn't tell you what it was that she had. Actually, my mother had breast implants, which she had gotten a long time ago, like in the 80s or something. And she had then like a breast cancer, like a breast tumor, but it was a very mild, like a non-aggressive lobular carcinoma in situ. So it's like they call it like a stage 0. I mean, if you're going to get breast cancer, lobular in situ would be like the best kind, you know? So she had it removed. She, by the way, refused chemo, refused tamoxifen, refused whatever else. She just had it removed and she was okay. But they did a lot of mammograms on her and they busted her implants. And one of them was saline and it just flattened out. The other one was silicone and it sort of like spread out and it was starting to cause problems. Plus it was uncomfortable. And she had a lot of trouble getting anyone to take responsibility. Everyone was like, no, 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 it's not my problem. Nobody wanted to take it out. The doctor who'd done her other surgery wanted nothing to do with it. It took a few years. She finally found someone who would take out her implants. And this was the surgery she had, which is quite heavy, actually, because a lot of women, boy, I'm on a tangent. A lot of women who get breast implants, you know, about 10% of them apparently eventually have some kind of problems, what they call BII, and want to consider taking them out. So I'm telling you, because like, heads up, if you have implants and you think you might want to remove them, you might not want to wait till you're over 65, because surgery carries risks after that age, and including triggering dementia or worsening it. And my mother's surgery that she had that triggered it was a breast implant removal surgery, because it still opened her up and she still had transfusions. So that's why I'm telling you now, that's what it actually was. She was in perfect health. Other than that, she didn't have a hip replacement even, or nothing. Nothing wrong with her. Just had her implants out. And then that's when things started. Anyway, I had told you that after January, she had declined. The staff have noticed. I've had staff come up to me and be like, wow, your mom really changed in the last couple of months. You can see my other video. I'll give you a link for what happened. But she had like a couple of weeks there where she was like kind of delirious and she was kind of screwed up. But she got better from that. But her language got disorganized. She was talking German instead of English. And even the German was very disorganized. And then after that, there were windows where the speech was okay, but the content of it didn't make sense. And then after, it actually just got worse, and became really hard to follow what she was saying. Well, it got even worse than that, to the point where she can't even really produce an entire, complete, coherent sentence at this point. She'll use like bits of language. She'll say, oh, and it's very important, one must always, but then what comes after is like, what, you know? She's using a lot of invented words. So it's gotten worse. She talks less on the whole, and when she does talk, it's very disorganized. Now, the good thing is that her spirits are still high. She seems to be okay. I mean, she's kind of like in her own world, I think. And I think that in her mind, you know, she's not living in a dementia ward. She's like working there or something. Her reality is not our reality. But in her reality, things are okay. You know, my mom has always had this inherently very positive nature. She's always had a lot of confidence. She's always had an extremely positive attitude. And it was just like nothing could keep her down. If something went wrong, she would just bounce right back. And that's just how she is. She just believes in herself. She believes in life. She enjoys everything. One of the things I was saying to my son, one of the things that I've heard my mother say so many times is, isn't it wonderful? She is so full of gratitude. Even now, you know, whatever it is that's going on, she'll say, isn't it wonderful? You know, she'll be talking about her clothes, and she'll say, oh, and I have this blouse, and isn't it wonderful? She'll say, oh, such a beautiful day. Isn't it wonderful? I come up to visit her, and we're in the garden, and she'll just, even in her disorganized way of speaking, but she's still saying, isn't it wonderful? You know, which it really touches me that my mother, what a great role model, that no matter what is happening, she will find something wonderful. And she'll be grateful for it, and she'll point that out. She's like the opposite of a complainer, you know. So it's just her nature. It's just how she is. It's just part of her extreme positivity. I mean, she must have just been born this way, I guess, because it can't be conscious, because she has dementia. So she can't make conscious decisions about anything. She's completely like mentally disorganized. And yet that positivity, that resilience is still there. And she's always like, isn't it wonderful? You know? So the thing that is wonderful is that the weather has improved and she is allowed out. I started taking her out again, and my son also did visit. Like, he really missed her, and he did get to see her a couple of times, and one of those times was for Easter. Even though she has declined, we still love her and enjoy her company. When she invents words or says things in a funny way, it's okay. We still have a good time together, and we don't lose our sense of humor.
You can try to have a piece of the You can muck, chuck, tuck, and taste whether you like it. Just try it. You have never.
They smell nice.
But you don't want to eat them. You just want to sniff them. You muck, tuck, and chuck as much as you want, but
you've never
don't eat the flowers.
You never had these. They're very good.
She doesn't express herself well, but we somehow still know what she's trying to say.
Did you know this girl?
Does he know this girl? Yes.
Did you?
Yes, she's my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm Sonia. Look, under this blue thing. See, it's me.
She fell terribly in Montreal on
It was a step.
a step,
Yeah,
and it had all these
like little edges of the stones.
edges, other stones, and I think that.
Very rough.
Yeah, I fell on it, split my chin open, right?
And
Oh, I did that.
That's right.
fell
Yeah,
on
and
something, too.
he also had a thing like that. He has a scar. Wait, move your finger so she can see.
Oh,
and
don't blame. Don't sound. I have also one, and then
you have one there, yeah,
and
from the
I
car
had it
accident.
I looked so bad. It was here, and then I was sitting, and I.
She got in a car accident and got cut right
you
here.
Still have all good teeth.
Beautiful, yeah. We brought her some flowers and a card. We had a little visit in the garden, and they really enjoy each other's company. So there was our wonderful visit in the garden. Now, unfortunately, it turns out that actually he's not supposed to visit. She's only supposed to have one visitor. Shortly after that, it was my birthday and her birthday on the same day. So we came with my sibling and my son, and we brought her a cake, and we tried to give it to her in the garden, and they told us she can't have more than one visitor on the property. So we're like, okay, well, we'll take her off the property so you guys don't get in trouble. We took her to the little garden park in the back, and then they came out there and they're like, she's not allowed to be off the property either. So it's like there's no way around it. Now she's only allowed one visitor, and it has to be on the property. So it's a downer. But they did let us have the cake, and I'm very glad that my son got to see her, before that. So now it's just me who goes to see her. She seemed to perk up when my son was there, but usually I find it hard to interact with her outside of caregiving and taking walks because she's so much less conversational. Nice weather. We went for a nice walk. Good weather, blue skies. You look very cute with your little pink jacket. Little bunny. Oh, everyone was asking how you were doing. So I'll tell them you're okay, right?
Wenn das richtig schöner wird, kannst du dort die Sonne richtig schneller ausholen.
Die Sonne ausholen?
Ja.
Bring out the sun? Okay. Sometimes I bring my son's phone so we can have music. She used to be a belly dancer, and she loves Middle Eastern music. That's it, you got it. That's it, you got it. You're doing it. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. Or we just take a walk and say, oh, look at the nice flowers, but it is difficult. It's hard because like you see her deteriorating at the same time you still see her the way she's always been. You see, oh no, I'm gonna cry. No, I'm not gonna cry. You see like her core, her personality is still there inside. You still see her sense of humor. You see her love of life, her appreciation. And she still says, isn't it wonderful? And she's not suffering. She's still very happy. But it's like I'm suffering. It's hard for me to watch her. like this. And like I was saying earlier, we weren't always close, but then in the last 10 years we got closer, and especially as I took on the caregiving role in the last 4 years or so, we got a lot closer. And so now it's harder to, like, you know, I try to be strong and just be like, look, this is the disease that she got, this is the way it is, and be grateful that you got to have these great 10 years with her. And the last few years, like my relationship with my mother, it was never very maternal on her part. It wasn't like, you know, some moms, it's like a great source of comfort. You know, you go to your mom and she's always gonna sort of take care of you. It wasn't like that. My mom was like a glamorous lady. She wasn't like a big caregiver. She wasn't very sort of warm and maternal, but she was like a good friend. Like my mom, I see her as like, you know, a great fun friend, like a person that I really enjoyed. And like as part of our family tribe, like I have a lot of loyalty to her. And so, you know, I'm trying to be strong, but I'm seeing her fade, and I remember her, you know, like for the person that she was, very, very vibrant, intelligent, unbelievably charming and glamorous, and so full of life always, you know. And I'm grateful that I've had this great role model. My mom is like the absolute model for positive attitude. So amazing. And so, you know, I see her now the way she is, and that positivity, it's like bittersweet, because it's like, wow, just, you know, 5 years ago, wow, was she ever different? But that's life, you know, that's how it is. But it's hard. It's hard to watch someone you love sort of fading away like that. But other than the speech deterioration, she's been pretty stable. Now there's like a second part of, you know, what's going to happen. I just have to like close all my emotions off about all my fears of what's going to happen to her, because it's totally out of my control. And I can't be angry about what's going to happen, or what may or may not happen. Hopefully everything will go well. Maybe there'll be more deterioration. But it's like, it's obviously like it's her path. I can't stop it. This is just, I have to let this just unfold, and I can't let it get to me. And no, I can't let it make me angry, or too sad, because I feel like whatever it is that's happening, it's what God had on the path for her, you know. She was a woman of faith, and she asked God to take care of her, and I mean, like, this has to be God's will, you know. So I'm trying to just be cool about it and not get ahead of myself. But of course, you know, I'm worried. I don't know what I'm gonna see. Like I like to like have the parts of her that are still there, but that's for me, you know. I want to still retain some part of my mom. And I kind of think maybe those parts are also going to disappear very shortly. And I just ask God to give me the strength to deal with it. Maybe they won't. I don't know. Because like I said in my other video, when the person's declining slowly like she had been, it's easier to adjust. When there's a big drop, it's like a really big shock. And that's what happened. It's been a shock. So I'm bracing myself for another shock, but I'm trying to just accept whatever it is, you know. Anyway, that's how it's been with my mom. But that's it. I hope that is you know, a good update for you guys, since you wanted to know how she's doing. And thank you for hitting like and leave me a comment. Thanks again for your support on Patreon. And please check out the link if you're interested in keto, if you've been doing it. This has been really great for me, and you do get a discount with the link. And that's it. Thank you for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.